Hello, amazing ladies. Welcome to the HerStory podcast. I'm your host, Kylie King, the founder of Australian Ladies in Business Initiative, and I am so excited today to be joined by the amazing Renata Consiglio from Renata Consiglio Confidence Coaching. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Beautiful. Thanks, Kylie.
Cool. So let's get started. The listeners, they want to know all about you. So do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what you do?
Sure. Yes, as you said, I'm Renata Consiglio and I am a confidence coach for female entrepreneurs that know they're capable of having a bigger impact through their work, but they feel stuck, overwhelmed, unsure about what the next step is. Yeah.
It's so important. Confidence coaching is such a big thing because even, there's people out there doing such amazing things, but they at times don't feel like that they're confident to then achieve that next goal or take that next step with what they want to do.
Yes. Yes. And it's funny, what I find a lot with most of the clients that I work with, it's like they're already running a business, but it's like they're hiding a fantastic business in the background that they just haven't had the confidence to do yet. So they've got all the mechanics happening, and a different business can tend to be what their life was previously that they're doing, but they've got that great idea sitting there and they just don't have the confidence to bring it out into the light.
Beautiful. It's so important, especially because we've got the ladies that are all business owners from all over Australia listening. Like, it makes me straight away think, what are you holding back of? Like, what is the listener holding back to that they might not be taking that extra step forward? Is there something that is a confidence issue that they're like, I can't do it? And if that's the case, you can now come and see Renata and go, I want to do this. Can you help me out?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Love that.
So what made you get started in being a confidence coach?
So I had my previous life, I say, is a long history in human resources. So I've always loved supporting people and helping them resolve issues. That's what makes me tick. It's what energizes me. And then I started a family, and I think, as a lot of the listeners can understand, is that then trying to balance the family and the work, which I loved. It was a national role, so I was traveling, etc. And I actually just didn't want to balance it all, to be honest. So I wanted the flexibility, and I missed work, like taking time off. And then I missed work. I really like working and connecting with people. And so that's where it all started. Yeah.
What a beautiful way to have that experience in HR. So you've seen like the confidence issues that people can have with work, because it can be very similar between work and running your business. And then to be able to apply that experience and that knowledge into your business now is just beautiful.
Exactly. It's really nice to have that background, because when you're speaking to business women, you do understand the mechanics of how businesses run to be successful. So you can apply that really practically.
Yeah. And that's what's beautiful when you're looking for a coach. You want someone who knows what they're talking about and what experience they've got in the industry. And you can go, okay, this is what my issue is. And having that background in HR is just brilliant to go with that. So what has been your biggest challenge so far?
My biggest challenge has been imposter syndrome. So in explaining that I guess journey of going from, being that professional senior level, starting a family, etc., and then changing, it's like I realized when you're in an organization, you almost have that organization to support you and, let's be honest, hide behind, in a sense, right? You're Renata Consiglio from XYZ.
Yeah.
And when I went into my own business, I actually operated under a name, and that's what everyone was saying to me at the time. You need a business name so that you can scale. You don't want to call it your name, and all the rest of it. And that allowed me to continue hiding as well, right? And so this confidence coach came through that process of going, actually, I don't want to scale. I'm not interested in scaling. I want to work directly with clients, and I want to focus my energy on that. That's what energizes me, not scaling a business. Now, the thing was coming away and being just Renata Consiglio confidence coach. It's like, ooh, I used to have T-shirts with my name on it and everything. And so that was it. It was coming out and going, okay, I'm going to be seen as me. And so that was it. And that's, continually working on that.
That's beautiful. I actually went through very similar about a year ago. Same thing, because ALIBI is actually my side hustle. So I have a proper business, like a not proper business, but a side business. And very much I hid behind a business name coming out of corporate. And then I was like, but when people are searching, they're searching for me. So it's just time I step forward as me, because they're not remembering my business name, but they know who I am, because that's the person that directs the business. And yeah, I went through very similar. It was like, okay, build that confidence up enough to go, okay, this is who I am. And this is who, so my business name changed to be Kylie King in this, to go, this is who you're dealing with. There is no one else. I don't have a big team. Maybe later I can get a couple of VAs, but right now it's me. But it does take that big step, because it is coming out and going, if the customer's got a complaint, it's directly against me. Like if it's, you know what I mean? Like it's a big step.
Yes. And especially I would say with, social media, a website and all of that, it's like, oh, then it's me. And, I'm saying to you, I'm not in love with coming out on camera and all those sorts of things. So, so it is about really peeling back those layers and then going, yeah, it's me, and that's authentic too, right? Because it is me. And as you say, it's like you get what you see, and that's all I can offer, and that's all I want to offer. I don't want to promise the world and only be delivering X, Y, Z. And that's been important for me as well.
Yeah. And it's also showing in that moment going, look, this is where I overcome my confidence to come out and stand as myself.
Yes.
So, I'm leading by example, which I think is really important too. People love to see that. They love to listen to stories. That's why we're here today. They want to hear your story. So they want to learn from, go, oh, look what Renata did. Okay, she's got this. I'm totally going to her for confidence stuff, so that maybe one day I can too step behind or from behind my business name and be like, this is me and this is what I do.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So we've had the biggest challenge. What would you say so far has been your biggest achievement?
You know what? My biggest achievement is probably the same, overcoming the imposter syndrome. And really just always doing the deep dive and going, well, what is it that I want to do? What can I learn from this? Being a solopreneur, we were just talking about that. It's like, you don't have a PR team or an accounts team or whatnot, right? So really it's been looking at, what are the strengths, weaknesses within me, and what do I need support in? What do I need to learn, and really looking at the weaknesses and going, okay, great, this is what I need. Yeah. So that's probably it. And just connecting with women and creating those aha moments where they go, okay, that's the pattern I'm stuck in. That's the block. How I now move through that is just so energizing for me. I love it.
Well, then that was the next question I was going to ask is, what makes you get out of bed every morning to keep doing this?
It is absolutely that. So hearing, first is, in the actual, I use a tool called systemic constellations to help women break free of self-limiting beliefs. And it's done in one session, right? And I love that because coming from an HR background, it can tend to be really long processes in getting to the bottom of issues. But this is a visual mapping tool where you do that in one session, right? And so that is amazing to see people go, that's actually, I wasn't even looking at it that way. And it's a visual mapping tool, so we're not, it's not going into the story and the logic, because you already know that. You don't need me to help you with that. So seeing it a different way. But then what is really the icing on the cake is the next, week or so, say after they've had a bit of time, is then when they say, ring me, or we have a session and they go, you'll never guess how this has shown up. Or, I used to feel, had someone the other day that said, I used to feel sick when this person would call me and it would almost put me in bed for the day. And then she said, this person called me and I just said, yeah, no problem. You need to go and do this. And she said, and then I just turned around and got on with my work. And she said, just the release of that emotional baggage or that old pattern was just, it just completely resourced her, and she was able to just get on with it and not give it the time and energy that she would have before. So that's like the icing on the cake, because neither the client nor me knows how it's going to transpire when then they get out and start, just getting on with their life. You think, oh, this is how it's going to be. And then people always call me with the most amazing, magical stories of how it's shown up, and just, transformed the way that they see themselves in the world. But also, a lot of the women I work with, they know they've got a great product or a great service, and they know it's like they're standing on an island, and they know what that they're standing on the mainland and know what the island looks like, right? They can't seem to get there. And so it's not about me telling them how to get to that. It's about going, what's the block as to why you can't cross that bridge? And so then it's about hearing how they've crossed the bridge and then how they're able to transform people's lives, because they know they can do that. And so it's really just about decluttering everything and showing them the bridge. It's almost like it's covered with mist. We blow away the mist, they see it. And then it's like they just cross that bridge and they just don't even think about it. And that's what I love about systemic constellations, is there isn't a big, long action list. It's like you literally just seen something in a different way.
I love that. And it uses visual, which is something that we use all the time. So it's beautiful. And then once you see the map, you can know where you're going.
Yes.
Oh, incredible. That is a good reason to get out of bed.
It's right.
That'd be jumping out of bed.
I love it.
I don't know if I'd be able to go to sleep, Renata. I'd be like, come on, it's 1 a.m. Where's the next client? Let's go. Let's see the next benefit.
Absolutely. And that's what's nice about articulating what you want to do and who you want to be with, and just being yourself, right? Because it's like, that's what I do. That's all I want to do. And I love doing that. So how do I just make it so that I can just always wake up in the morning and do that?
Beautiful. So is there any advice you wish you were given when you started out in business? Is there anything you wish someone went, oh, don't do that, or yes, do that?
Yes. Well, gee, there's so many things, isn't there, that you learn that. One would be have your ultimate business goal on your wall. And that can change all the time, as we know, right? As we change and evolve and what we want to do. But every time an opportunity comes in, whether it's a podcast or to study something or go to a networking event, look at that and go, does it serve that purpose? Does it get me towards that? And that, I think, would be something that I wish I'd done right from the beginning, and I do now, because if you're a solopreneur, it's like you have limited time. You are only one resource, right? And so it's like, does it help you? Does it serve you? Can I share one more?
Yeah, yes.
Because I'm so excited, as I love being parts of these groups with women, because we can share these, these nuggets that like help us, rather than, going and working it out on our own. And there's a really simple system, and they go under all different names, but I use it all the time. I've got it on my whiteboard now, and it's basically Post-it notes into 3 columns. Like now, next, and park, or later.
Oh,
I also have an outsource one, which is important for solopreneurs. Know what you need to outsource, but it makes it so simple. So I love an action list, but I literally just go, what am I working on now? And it's literally just 3 bullet points or 2 Post-it notes, whatever you can handle. What am I going to work on next? And then what is for later or a part? And it just so helps me to, I get to my desk or whatever, or someone says, oh, do you want to do this? And I think, wait a minute, that's in the later pile. Because it's easy to have the shiny ball syndrome and get excited by so many different things coming in. But it just helps me focus my time, being finite, and go, yep, that's what I'm doing. But then also feel relaxed when it's like, there's all these things to do. And I go, okay, no, whatever, social media content is next month, or whatnot. And so it's just such a simple system that is another tool that I've just found really life-changing for me in my business.
No, it sounds great. And it's also then you've got that, as you said, that plan is there. So when your brain's getting a bit like, what do I do next? Or what happens next? Okay, just go back and revert to what I've already made a plan of. stop making things harder. I've already decided. So then I need to stick with this.
Yes. And if it's on the board, you almost feel like you can take it out of your brain.
Yeah.
So it's on the board. So when I get to it, sort of thing. So, yeah.
And then how good is it when you take that Post-it note off?
Look, you speak I love it. I love ticking things. So, yes, I absolutely love it. I do a little ceremony of, scrumpling it up and going.
That's awesome. That's a great tip. Thank you for sharing that extra one. I haven't heard of that system. So I'm going to have to get my whiteboard out and start giving it a go because I think, that would help.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So what were the now, next, and park?
Now, next, and park or later. So just call it whatever you want. But the main thing is that you just have 3. Don't get tempted into, creating big, long ones. It's about simplicity and just use a Post-it note. It's literally just a couple of words. So it's about reducing overwhelm and just being able to focus.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like it. Now, next, and don't look here, I think is the best. Concentrate over here. Look this way. This is what you need to look at. So you mentioned before having your ultimate business goal somewhere you can see it, which I think is so important too, because you're constantly then reminded by why you're in business, whether you have a good day, a bad day, something happens, you can constantly see that and go, okay, this is what I'm working towards. So if you're willing to share, what is your ultimate goal? Is it like a big, hairy, scary goal you don't want to talk about? Or is it one you're like, I'm all here for?
It's a vision. It is. I'm just looking up on my wall because I have it. It is to be a sought after guest at retreats for female entrepreneurs where I create aha moments to remove blocks and reignite their passion for their business.
Beautiful. I love that. That's an awesome goal.
So do I. So that's the ultimate goal.
All right. So if any ladies are listening and they're running retreats or they're running workshops or they've got podcasts or stuff, Renata is waiting for you. Help her achieve her ultimate goal.
Absolutely.
All right. So being a confidence coach, being in your systemic constellations, is there a tip or like a little bit of advice you'd like to, like a taste tester for the readers, that our listeners, that you would like to share?
Yes. And look, it works a lot off intuition. And I guess for me, it would be like you can do one yourself very quickly if you just go, okay, what is my problem? And just grab a couple of things. It doesn't matter. It could be the coffee cup, the mouse, the pair of glasses, and just start going, what are the main things in that problem? And just start putting them on your desk. And just look at those and then tap into your gut and just start looking at them and just see what comes up. And really the trick with systemic constellations as well is acknowledging what is rather than what it should be. So get out of the story and just look at it visually and tap into your body and listen to your gut. Do you feel uncomfortable when you look at one of them? Do you feel energized when you look at one? Is there one that you're not interested in? Because that might be one that maybe you need to move away from, especially in our businesses. You could put your now, then, and part columns. You could put 3 Post-it notes on the desk and go, okay, how do I feel about those? And out of that might come, oh, I feel really uncomfortable when I look at the park. Okay, why do I feel really uncomfortable? And so you just do it yourself. I do them on myself all the time. And I absolutely love them because they just help me refocus and just go, okay, that's what's going on. There's a hidden dynamic that's keeping us stuck. That's a little tip on how you could do it, but it really is magic.
That sounds awesome. So yeah, I think it comes back to that now, next, and park. Have a look at it and just be honest with what you like doing, what you don't like doing. And if you don't like doing something, that's okay. We're not here for genius. Like, we're not all here with our geniuses. There's other businesses we can outsource to. So I don't like doing my accounts. I have an accountant.
Yes.
And it's by looking at that and going, it just hurts my brain too much. But my accountant's great at it. So
Yes, exactly. I'm the same. And doing my accounts, does that help me become a sought after guest at retreats for women? Not really, as long as my account's taken care of.
Yes.
And that's the other thing. I just a little tip is I work with as money comes in, I'll spend it on outsourcing. So I try not to overinvest because there's a lot of opportunities, but that's where it helps to just go, okay, I even parked getting my, accounting and all of that. I parked that. I went, actually, no, it's not actually, there's no burning fire here. I'm going to park that. And that's something I don't want to do. And then when I got some money in, that's what I outsourced, and I love it because I don't have to do it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a great way to do it. If it's something you're parking, looking at it, as you mentioned, is it something I can outsource? And then in that case, I can keep working on the fun stuff that I want to do in my business, because that's what we're here for. That's why we started, right? To do the fun stuff
we bring,
Clear. Yeah. And, you could worry about counts for like 2 days, or you could help 2 amazing clients look at their stuff and move forward and be more confident in their business. So
true.
Yeah. So where do we stalk you, Renata? Where do we find you, stalk you, come and check out all your stuff?
You can stalk me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and I also have a website, renataconsiglio.com.
Beautiful. So everything is just under Renata Consiglio?
Yes.
Beautiful. So I'm going to put all the links down below so that you can click on it. You can go and stalk Renata. You can ask her about her maps. You can ask her to just give you a bit of confidence, whether I guess that's a kick up the bum or like a pat on the back, however Renata does it. So other than that, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your amazing story and your business.
Thank you so much for the opportunity and for what you're doing for the community of Australian ladies in business. It's fantastic, and I've really enjoyed and gotten things out of being in the group. So I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.